All right, what's up? It's your boy. Let's have some real talk about the stock market, which is a topic that, interestingly enough, not a lot of people like to talk real about. They really don't. It's sad and it's unfortunate, but it's a thing. People like to just kind of go by little tweets they see, little headlines. They just kind of roll with things, and then they make their own assumptions, their own opinions. They hear sound bites, and they take a sound bite and they run with it as if it's the whole story, which soundbite is almost never the story. That's the kind of the point of a soundbite. They take this little piece of what you said and they plug it everywhere. So that way you'll go and listen to the whole story. They want to, or they're trying to get a reaction because taken out of context, it sounds like completely opposite of what it really is, which is interesting. Okay, so let's get into it, right? A few days ago, there was a headline. Warren Buffett lost $22 billion. $22 billion. Warren Buffett's response was real simple. Those numbers are misleading. Quickly, people took to social media, Twitter, and things like that, and their response was, oh, well, he's just trying to spin things. Of course, numbers are misleading when they don't say what you want them to say. No, those numbers are misleading because in actuality, they are misleading because they are a soundbite, a blurb, a fraction of the story. So the story is last year, first of all, it wasn't Warren Buffett. Let's just draw that line, how it's misleading because it says Warren Buffett when it wasn't Buffett. Now, it was Berkshire Hathaway. Now, you can sit back and say, well, what is Berkshire Hathaway if it isn't Warren Buffett? Well, that's because some people don't really know the grand scope of things that are going on. Berkshire Hathaway is more than just Buffett. But he is iconic and he is pivotal and he is... More people know Buffett than they do Hathaway. It's just kind of a thing. It's how it is. And again, these headlines are to draw you in. So if they said, well, Berkshire Hathaway, well, a lot of people know who Berkshire Hathaway is, but more people know who Buffett is. So they said Buffett. Okay, now let's get back to how else it's misleading. Last year, first of all, these numbers are not pulled from yesterday. These numbers are pulled from, okay, so last year, Berkshire Hathaway brought in $33.1 billion. Let that marinate for a second. $33.1 billion was what they brought in. Now, when they took a hit, as companies do from time to time, they take hits, especially investors. But when you're leveraged well enough and you know what you're doing and you got more winners than losers, then hopefully those hits aren't going to hurt you. And so when they took a 33.1 win and then took a 22.3 loss, at the end of the day, did they really lose? Well, yes, of course they lost. They lost $22 billion. But they had already won $33 billion or $31 billion. So it's like at the end of the day, they're still ahead. I mean, they're ahead $10 billion. So what's that mean? Yes, numbers can be misleading. Yes, numbers can deceive you. And yes, when you take any tidbit of information, and I say tidbit, when you take a fraction of information and you run with it as if it is the story, then that's what you've just done. You've not only allowed yourself to be misled, but now you're misleading others because now you're running around telling people this and that and everything and whatever, and you're blurbing, tweeting, Instagram, Facebook, all the different social media apps out there. You're plugging away and you're telling the world, guess what? I know something, because that's what everybody wants to be. Everybody wants to be the guy who knew something. Well, if you're the guy who knew that Buffett lost $22 billion, then you didn't know. What you did was you took a blurb and you ran with it as if it was a story. Now, Hathaway lost 22. Hathaway lost 22 after winning 33. At the end of the day, I'd follow that in the win column. End of the day, they're still batting over 500. And at the end of the day, this is Berkshire Hathaway. This is Warren Buffett, arguably one of the greatest investors of all time. And if he takes an L one day, is it the end of the world? Well, if you know anything about the stock market, and if you have ever taken the time to really understand what it is and what it does. Buffett's a man who's talked about it himself many times. He talked about it at shareholder meeting and said plain and simple, if you think that the value of that stock, that share on the stock, on the like New York stock market, the stock exchange, you say that value, that number, what they tell you that number is, that's actually the value, well then you've been misled in anyways. And it doesn't matter if you're winning or losing, if you take that as actual value, then you've already been misled, because all it is it is the value that someone is willing to pay you right now if you're willing to sell at this given moment. Are you willing to sell? If you're willing to sell, then that's the number that they're willing to give you. That's all it means. Now, I can go into the rabbit hole of what a stock is valued at and what it really means, but I've done that before and I'll do that again. And ultimately, that's going to eat up some amount of time. And so I want to keep this one a little short and a little sweet and just get right to the punch. Stop taking stock tips from little blurbs. Don't allow just a little bit, a little tweet, a headline, a fraction of information skew your opinion, because it's not enough. It isn't the rest of the story. All right, it's your boy. Y'all be sure y'all stay tuned. Y'all don't miss out, because I've got so much more coming at y'all. I got love for y'all. I got respect for y'all. I appreciate and love every last one of y'all who is tuned in and subscribe to my channel. Be sure you ding the bell, get your notifications. Leave your love. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Leave comments below. Let's open up a discussion. But I want to help y'all grow and learn and build your own portfolio so you can have financial freedom and your future is going to look so damn bright. You got to wear shades, baby. It's your boy, and I'm out.